There's common sense, and then there's uncommon sense. Let's join Ray and Joe for the Uncommon Sense Podcast.
Hey, we are back for another episode of the Uncommon Sense Podcast.
7.
It's hard to believe we're 7 in already.
That's 6 in already.
Well,
we're
yeah,
on
this
7.
would be 7. Yeah,
So
technically, if we're being technical, because we're very technical people here at the, at the Uncommon Sense Podcast, as you can tell.
Yes.
We've got, hours and hours of preparation goes into this podcast.
Studied hard.
Yeah.
Like I studied for my urine test. It's very difficult.
Just about as much prep work. Yeah.
Yes.
But hopefully people, say they appreciate that.
Yeah, they do.
Do they?
I guess. I don't know. I had people at my house for Thanksgiving, and someone said, it was actually my wife's ex-husband was there, and she said, "Don't even ask."
That's a whole other podcast.
Well, with Thanksgiving,
Well,
he's thankfully gave her away probably years ago.
Boom.
No, he said he drives a truck, and he's like, I really enjoy your podcast. I was kind of shocked that he listened to it. Yeah. He goes, "Can you make them longer?" I said, "Well, I've been trying to make it longer for years, but the podcast," I said, the producer at Stone State says that the average travel time is between 18 and 22 minutes, and that should be the podcast.
Yeah. Well, we don't want people to get bored.
No. Can they get bored?
No. I have people say to me, "Hey, what about the podcast?" So I don't know what they mean. Is that a good thing? Is that a bad thing? So I try to come in positive, but I mean, like, what does it suck? Why?
Yeah.
How's it going with that podcast?
It is. We're up to 7 downloads.
Right.
So that's
Hey, what are you talking about? I believe everything I see on Facebook. We were the #1 podcast on Apple.
We are. I'm that's the #1 downloaded podcast on my phone. Right. Is because I don't listen to podcasts.
Right. And we had that post on our Facebook page,
which was tremendous.
I believed it.
And you do look like Travis Kelce. I'm going to go back to saying that. We said that in the first podcast that if Taylor gets bored,
that's it.
Joe's here.
Right. So, but hey, it's December, the holiday time. We'll do a whole bunch of holiday shows throughout the month of December, to be festive and enjoy the season.
Yeah. Well, speaking about holidays, first of all, I'm under the weather, so you're going to have to do most of the talking. But I was driving here thinking, what does that even mean, under the weather?
True. Have you ever been under the weather?
Have you been over the weather? Like when you feel good, you don't say, "Man, I'm over the weather."
I am over the weather.
Right.
No,
you wouldn't say that.
Yeah. So where did that come from?
Right. But I'm under the weather. Like I'm not myself. I've got like some kind of cough. Something. It's just annoying.
Got some funk going on.
Yeah, it is. I got some creeping crud. So you're going to have to.
But right. What does under the weather mean? Because you don't say over the weather. That's one of those ones where it works the one way, but it doesn't work the other way.
Correct. Yeah. Right. So that's.
How about, this one I see probably every week from our good buddy, Joe Snedeker. Shed some light.
Shed some light.
I'm going to shed some light.
So is that like, I know Joe has that in the backyard. He has that shed that he opens up.
And I think he has a graphic that he pulls the shed door open. So I mean, he's using the word literally shed. But
right.
What does that mean? Shed.
I think of dogs because I have dogs. So I think it's
you
shed.
deal with that every day.
Yeah, like look at this black shirt.
Yeah, he's not. In fact, he's not wearing the scarf because it's the holidays or cold out. It's to cover up the dog hair.
Yeah, well, and the slobber because I had to take them to get their nails dremelled this morning. You know what that's like?
Gotcha.
My wife's like, why don't we take all 3 dogs to get their nails dremeled? I'm like, yeah, that's a great idea. Then she calls me at like a half hour before we're supposed to go, and she goes, the grandkids were sick, I can't go. So now I'm like, well, I'm not taking 3, I'm only taking 2. She can take my Frenchie, but the drool that comes off of Riptide is just unbearable. He could decorate a tree and the wall just with a little shake like that. It's just unreal. But I love dogs, so shed some light. Yeah.
Shed some light. Yeah. I don't think it means that.
No, it doesn't.
But yeah.
That's a good.
Yeah. But yeah, that's when you mean.
Or holy light.
How about kit and caboodle? I've never seen a kit or a caboodle.
What is a caboodle?
I have no idea. But when you say, hey, I'm going to throw in the whole kit and caboodle for you. I mean, now in the car business, do you ever say that?
No.
Hey, if you buy this car, we're going to throw in the whole kit and caboodle.
No, don't throw in anything.
Oh my gosh, I'll take it. Where's my checkbook?
Oh, where's the caboodle? Hey, give me I'll just take the caboodle.
And what's the kit? The chemistry kid? Is it,
you're making me
I
cough.
don't know.
Oh gosh,
But that's another one. Kit and caboodle. Where did that come from? I mean, I'm sure it has an origin somewhere. We still use it today, but people probably use it every day and have no idea.
no,
where that
kit
came
and
from.
caboodle. I'm gonna look that one up.
Yeah.
Like kit, K-I-T, kit and caboodle.
I challenge your sales folks at the dealership.
I'll make that up.
If you sign now, I'm going to throw in the whole kit and caboodle for you. It's an air freshener. It's one of those tree air fresheners. That's what it is.
Sometimes in sales, we just we pick a word in the morning that you have to say to a customer during the day, like, and just see if they catch on.
Some odd, weird word.
Yeah, some
obscure word.
I don't know if you could actually do anything with caboodle. Like, there's no way to, like, you could say chance, or like you could give a word, but caboodle. No, that's
not one.
Wow, kit and caboodle. Kit you could probably get away with, you know. But geez. So speaking about the holidays, and like I said, I don't want to speak a lot because I've got this. It's like, hey, let's do a podcast. I can't even speak. Well, why do they call it pod? That's one thing I was thinking about coming over here. You know, back when they came out, they had those iPods. So it was a iPod, and now there's a podcast. What does pod stand for? Because the only time in my life I think I ever heard of pod was Invasion of the Body Snatchers when they had those big bean pods.
Yeah, like a big pod. Yeah.
Right, and they would come up. So what would pod stand for?
I would think that it probably has to go back to like the iPod, maybe. I would think.
So what do you think it would be? You know? Personal.
Yeah, it probably stands for something. Personal something device.
Personal.
What the O would be for.
I don't know. Personal overachieving device? No.
I don't think it's that.
Personal observant of device? What?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll have to look
somewhere.
that one
Steve Jobs came up with that back in the 90s, I guess.
Yeah. Isn't it funny his last name is Jobs? Like, think about it. Think of what he does for a living. Like, we're going to cancel a lot of jobs with this.
With Amazon.
Yeah. Was he Amazon or was he?
No, that's Apple.
That's Apple.
Yeah.
Why would you name it Apple? Why would you name it after? Probably because of Adam and Eve.
I'm sure there's a reason, yeah. If we did some research and went back to the history of Apple, it's probably that's probably an easy one to find.
Well, so we got to do iPod and Apple, unless it's an Apple pod.
Well, true.
But it could, I don't know. We're going sideways. Yeah. It is a lot of pods. So speaking about holidays, my wife said she wanted an old-fashioned Christmas.
Okay.
And I was trying to think, like, what does she mean by an old-fashioned Christmas?
In your mind.
In my mind, right, right. I must be semi-alcoholic, but I was thinking old-fashioned. Right. And old-fashioned is, how did it get its name old-fashioned is the first... Like, it doesn't make any sense, even though I really like them. But do people really know how to make old fashions?
Probably most people don't. Yeah.
So you're going to think this is unbelievable.
I wouldn't think anything's unbelievable.
But I did bring a stuff to make an old fashioned.
All right. So today is like a learning experience.
It will be, but you'll have to talk, and then I could set up shop right here. Is it okay if I make an old fashioned? Where's the producer? Yeah. Okay. All right.
I don't think there's a lot of rules when it comes to podcasting. Yeah.
Yeah, but this isn't my table.
Oh, okay.
So we're in a studio. This is kind of supposed to be professional. But
well, just don't spill any.
Well, no, I won't spill. That'd be
I think as long as we offer the guys behind the cameras here a sample, I don't think
I could
mind
do that.
Yeah. But you're right, old fashioned. I mean, some drinks, obviously, you know where they come from. Like a Manhattan, probably originated in Manhattan at some point.
That's true.
Cosmopolitan probably originated
in the village.
Cosmopolitan society. It's a society drink, and kind of kept that name.
The noise you hear is a piece of aluminum foil being ripped from the.
If you're not watching this podcast and you're just listening.
Hey, did you ever notice this? How old were you when you found out that these two little tabs on the edge of the aluminum foil you push in, so when you rip it, the roll doesn't fall out?
I think I was probably quite old till I figured that out.
Okay. All right. Just curious.
A few years ago, I think thanks to like TikTok or Reels on Facebook that, somebody did that. Yeah. But yeah, you make a good point actually, because, we're in a studio with some cameurs and lights.
A mic. And they're going to get all messed up.
But a lot of people who enjoy this podcast.
Breaker 19. Can you still hear me? All right. He's got the hand
He didn't break up but a lot of people who enjoy this podcast, I'm assuming they enjoy the podcast. They listen to it, whether they enjoy it or not, I'm not sure. are actually listening and not watching. So, we are going to have to describe for the people who actually listen what we're doing. Now, Ray right now
is pulling up.
Unbeknownst to me, he has aluminum foil down on the desk here, and he has 4 glasses. So we're going to find out at some point what the aluminum foil is for.
Well, I may have a problem. You may have a problem if you have a backpack that separates your Woodford Reserve
from your
simple syrup, your bitters.
Yeah.
And aren't you glad I brought an orange? And then, you need a masher. All right. So a lot of people don't know what these are. What is this thing called?
A muddler, a mashler?
Muddle.
Yeah, muddle.
Yeah, muddle. Where, muddle. Like, come on.
Yeah. Like somebody just made up that word, I think, right?
I think they did. I think they did.
Because it has nothing to do with mud. So somebody just said, that sounds like a cool word when you mash stuff up. When you mash up,
And then the really listen, to make a great old fashioned, the cherries are a must.
Okay.
Don't do the maraschino stuff. That's not.
This is not great. You don't have a jar of great value cherries there in front of you.
No, I do not. No, and when if you're gonna do it, you're gonna do it. Like these cherries are. I don't know, whatever. I don't know.
Some French word, I think.
Yeah, some French word. See?
So people who are listening and not actually watching this podcast, this is not a jar of like great value Walmart maraschino cherries. This is like some fancy white type, almost decorative type jar.
It is. I was
cherries in it. I would imagine.
I was at a gentleman's house and he had them, and I'm like, oh my gosh, what is this? And then when you try it, it was just unreal.
And to your point, if you're at somebody's house and they have a jar like that full of cherries, it's not just some guy or some dude. It's a gentleman. So you use it right.
Wow.
That's a gentleman.
You calling me a gentleman?
Well, you said you were at some gentleman's house.
I was. I was.
So yeah. It's not some guy or dude who has a jar of cherries like that.
Holy Schmidt Brothers. Did you ever use a Schmidt Brothers knife? This podcast is sponsored by Schmidt Brothers as I pull this knife out.
You're serious when you're bringing out the heavy-duty cutlery.
Well, it's cutlery. Now, how did... Cutlery.
Oh, that's why I threw that in.
Yeah, so that's a funny word, cutlery.
It is.
Go ahead. I'm not going to cutlery myself, but you can.
So again, the folks who are listening to the podcast, not viewing, Ray is cutting up an orange here because that's an important ingredient in an old fashioned.
Correct. And Ray forgot to bring a cutting board. And like you mentioned board.
Well, you know what? Before you get there, now is it old fashioned or old fashioned? I'm trying to think how I see it in print.
I think there's a D
on the menu. Is there? I think there's a D.
It's definitely not married. Sorry. So
I think it's old fashioned.
Yes, it is old fashioned.
So yeah, not old fashioned.
Yes.
Yeah.
So right now I am slicing the orange and I am placing one little.
And you look like you've done this before.
Yes, I have. Because when juice gets on the counter, it makes everything sticky.
Gotcha. So you're being courteous to the folks here at Stone State Entertainment. We'll give them a plug.
Well, that's because my wife's a bear.
So you would be in trouble if you did that at home.
She's like,
the counter's all sticky.
Right. I can make old fashions as long as I don't get anything sticky.
You would be out in the garage doing that if you after the first time getting the countertop sticky.
In the summer, you could do it outside.
Well, sure, yeah.
The only thing I don't have is a spoon to dig out the cherries. I don't know if anyone is sitting here doing nothing that can grab one out of the kitchen. But here at Stone State Entertainment with these lights, I must say they dampened the lights because I'm not squinting so much. From your forehead, or your forehead.
Thank you. Right.
Which is very nicely shaved. Do you?
Well,
shave
I tried to. I do shave it. Yeah,
I
tried to get it not so shiny today. But
I was thinking about that look, and you're kind of looking more like Dwayne Johnson. And
well, you know what? I saw something the other day. I don't know if it was on TikTok or a reel or somewhere where somebody was talking about how they lost their hair at a young age, but they're happy about it now that they're getting older. I think this guy was in his 50s. Because when you haven't had hair for a while, you sort of age different than the folks who all of a sudden don't have hair.
Really?
Because you haven't had it in a while, so you don't
that's
age
true.
quite the same as somebody who all of a sudden starts
that's
to lose
true.
their hair, had their hair through their 40s and
Thank you.
50s, and then all of a sudden really starts to lose their hair. So
Yeah.
I'm
That's
happy where I'm at.
true.
So update, Ray now has a spoon.
Oh yeah, so I got a spoon because the guys here at Stone State Entertainment, Stone State Studios are fantastic.
Well, sticking your finger in the cherry bowl would just not be.
No,
not
well,
be-
they don't want me
not be
touching a
proper.
mic. They don't want a sticky mic. The same way my wife does not want a sticky counter. So after you get glasses, and what you do is you put, a nice slice of orange, a generous slice of orange, and then you get these. Look at these dark, these are
Those are some dark cherries.
these are premium cherries.
They are. They
And
are.
you just try to get a little bit of juice in there, and
Yeah, you want a little bit of that sweetness, just a little.
what
bit.
you want to do is get some cherry chutney, and you want to evenly put it inside of the glass. That's like a German.
That's
What's
like
her name?
Julia Child.
Yes,
that's
Julia
I knew who you
Child.
meant. And to remind everybody why we're doing this, it all came because we were talking about an old-fashioned Christmas.
An old-fashioned Christmas.
Your wife, just to remind the folks,
But this is not
she
what
wanted
she
an
meant.
old-fashioned Christmas, and this is the way you took it.
Right, and this is not what she meant. Trust me, at all.
No,
She
no.
did not even think about that.
I'm sure not.
And some. Can you read this? What is that?
Oh, aromatic bitters. It's aromatic.
That's not aromatic. What's it say
Oh,
on top?
oh.
yeah,
Angostura.
You took the
Angostura.
easy word.
Oh, I'm sorry.
What is it?
Angostura.
Okay,
I guess that's the name brand. of the
okay. Angostura.
Aromatics.
Here you go. Agromatics.
Give them a plug. Yeah, maybe we can get them as a sponsor.
Yeah, no one's gonna sponsor this. But these smell like
What does it smell like?
It's aromatic.
What does that mean?
I don't know. Aromatic. Does that mean that
smells
it's
good.
good in the wind? Like it can go fast? Someone told me
smells-
if you run, who the heck was it? Someone
Almost
that worked
smells like menthol, like a little, like not mentholy, but
mentholy.
no, I don't know.
No. But it's aromatic.
It's aromatic, whatever that means.
But that means you can smell.
Right.
I like a lot of bitters. Most people only take like a swig or a shake. I like 2 or 3.
Sure.
Just
Well,
because,
we'll do it the way you like it.
Yeah, and see, it always does that little pre-squirt, and which is a mess. Like I just got.
That's always an issue.
It is. I mean, and I don't know why. Maybe it's the way they make the lids, but now.
Yeah. Now you've got your muddler.
That shouldn't stain. I don't want it. That's such a nice white counter.
Well, here.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
So, we got the hand. I feel like the Addams Family. What was that? The thing.
Thing, yeah,
his hand
thing.
comes in and just sticks it
Yeah,
in.
we don't want to get a bill for that.
Matter of fact, Wednesday came out, didn't it?
I think so.
Did
Yeah,
it
I've never
come out
watched
on
that.
Wednesday?
I don't know if it came out on Wednesday.
Oh, okay.
I
So-
know you're such a big binge Netflix watcher. I'm sure you. That's like.
I thought it was a movie.
Is it? I don't know.
I don't know. So anyway,
No,
we're
that's
talking
a series
about
on Netflix. I think.
old fashioned, and then simple syrup. You
Okay.
only do like a dash. Speaking about Dash, we have a elf on the shelf at work. His name is Dash,
Wow. Okay.
and it's pretty fun. But hey, speaking about Dash, who is that coach? That basketball coach, really good one. Give me a name. Old guy. Old guy. Oh, what the heck was his name?
Somebody behind the scenes. Not a
anyway.
basketball coach.
No.
I don't know.
Huh? Pat Riley. No,
don't
the other
think that's
guy.
right, no.
Maybe it was a football guy. College football. Anyway, this coach, this famous coach, right? He was saying about living your life and stuff, and how we doing with time? Because I this old fashioned is
Well,
really
it's getting close.
All right,
but
so,
yeah, but
we were talking about
we could always end on a cliffhanger.
Yeah. Oh yes.
How do you like
Fonzie
that?
Jumping the shark.
Is that a thing in podcast, folks?
be a thing.
Is it a
could be a
thing? Is it
thing.
like a cliffhanger a thing for a podcast?
Well, I thought thing
No,
was the hand from
no.
Adam's Family.
Right.
Right. So how many things are here? Do you remember that
That's a
movie,
lot
The
of
Thing?
things.
Like that.
I do. That was a good
scary.
movie.
That was a good movie. So anyway, go ahead.
I was going to say maybe we're like we'll be like trendsetters in the podcasting world by
No, you're
having
Piss people off.
having a cliffhanger to finish the old fashions. Well, it's the holiday season. It's old fashioned.
It's the holiday
the whole month of
season.
December.
I love Christmas music.
Right.
But we were talking about the Dash.
Yes.
That's my elf's name. But do you realize that if you look on tombstones, you ever look at tombstones when you go in through a cemetery? I used to live right next to a cemetery. Now I sold that house and we live across the street from the same cemetery. So go figure that.
Yeah.
In my slider house. But so people have a start date, the day they were
Sure.
born, and then they have an end date, which is
They
when
died.
obviously when they weren't there.
Right.
So that dash, that simplifies the life. What have you done with your dash? Is that too
Good
deep
question.
for this?
That's deep. That's a little bit too deep for our
That is
podcast.
deep. But I mean, really, because you think about it. And then I had this friend, he hated his name. His parents named him Odd.
Okay. That was his name, Odd?
That was his name, and he hated
First
it.
name or last name?
That was just his name, like Odd.
Oh, okay.
You know, and he's like, Ray, he goes, do me a favor. He goes, if I ever die before you, don't put a name on my tombstone. I'm like, yeah, that's not a problem. So unfortunately, he got in an accident back in 1985, and he passed away. So all it had was, 1968 to 1985.
Okay.
Every time someone goes by there, they say, that's odd. It's like there was no name. Anyway,
Okay.
So I'll get back to these old fashions. So what you do is you put a slice of orange, you put a cherry, a little bit of cherry juice. You got to get good cherries. Don't use bad cherries. Don't go to Walmart. They shouldn't have stems on them. They're destemmed. So I don't know if they pick them, if they destem them when they take it off the tree.
Somebody's job,
and then you just have stems on a tree with no cherries.
No, hey, although that's a job, AI may not be able to take over that job.
That's true.
The destemming of cherries.
Speaking of AI, if you're going to have a job now and you're younger and listening to this, because no one old and mature is going to listen to this, you can learn a trade that a computer can't do, unfortunately.
Yeah, exactly.
Because all these good computer programmers that worked for Steve Jobs, they created AI that now they don't have a job.
They're going to be out of a job. Yeah. So yeah. Sorry, guys, but
so then you take the muddler. And you just
and you muddle,
right? And
what would you use it? What else would you use a muddler for?
Right. And
Ray's doing some fabulous muddling right
Yes.
now for those of you who are listening and not watching.
And what you want to do is really destroy the cherry.
Okay.
But it smells.
That's what she said.
So, well, this muddler could probably do that. I mean, what is the average size of a muddler?
It's a great holiday stocking stuffer.
A battery operated muddler.
Right. Stuff that stocking.
It was like, yeah.
And we haven't even sampled the old fashions yet.
No, we haven't. We were making a turkey for Thanksgiving. I thought, man, I want to stuff that thing like a Thanksgiving turkey. With the muddler. No, not with the muddler. That would be a great tattoo, matter of fact.
It would be.
Muddle.
It would be.
Man, imagine.
Well, I mean, it is getting festive in here now. Now with the old fashions underway.
Nice little old fashioned.
Now here's a good question. Do
Yes.
we want to end this podcast since we're at about the normal time and continue it, as like a cliffhanger? Should we do that?
I would do that.
Yeah.
I think that's.
Why don't you hold up one of those? I don't know how good the camera can.
So
that's where we are so far.
Yeah. So it took
That's
me
where we are.
25 minutes to get this far, and but
we've used up all of our allotted time for this
but
podcast.
the smell, I mean, just
that's citrusy, aromatic with the bitters.
It's very aromatic.
Yes. It almost smells healthy, like a healthy.
Well, it is
citrus
because I
drink.
need, when I'm on this diet, I really need to focus on my fruit intake. She said,
And this is it.
and it's it. Now the problem is it disguises the flavor of liquor, so when you have 2 or 3 of these, you can't walk.
You can't. Yeah,
But it's okay because you shouldn't walk, after you eat.
at the holiday time, it's time to relax.
It is.
You shouldn't be walking.
Correct.
That's not that,
Correct.
But why don't we end it here?
Okay.
People, it's kind of like a secret. We'll get people to say, "Oh my God, I can't wait till the next one. I can't wait till next
tune
week
in.
Right. to see how that ends. I want to see how they look when they're all done."
That sounds great. Well, listen, I enjoyed talking to you about the holidays that we didn't really talk about, except the old-fashioned Christmas.
We've got a couple of weeks before the holidays, so we've had, we'll let people in on the secret. We've got at least another 2 shows here that we're going to talk about holidays.
That sounds awesome, man. Well, hey, wrap it up there, Joe.
Hey, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time on the Uncommon Sense podcast.
Don't forget, we're going to teach you how to make the old-fashioned.
From Julia Child
And The Rock.
Yes.
We're out.
The Uncommon Sense Podcast. It's like an outrageous cup of Joe.